Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode 13 of the HNE Pod. So basically, we've been doing these niche podcasts, but for reasons I won't get into, we're gonna pause that for a while, and we're just gonna focus on just kind of basically take it back to basics a little bit, for the sake of just getting things moving forward. But so I'm joined by Connor. How are you doing, man?
I am grinding through lovely weather outside. I was freezing my butt off this morning. Went a nice jog. It was a good time.
How was your Thanksgiving? Just like briefly, you don't have to go into like super detail.
Pretty good. I was actually against the norm a little bit. We had we had beef tenderloin. Yeah.
What?
No. Yeah, it wasn't turkey this year.
Okay.
Tenderloin, and my family's had the recipe for like the past 20 years, so that was pretty good. I got really fat, and yeah, it was a good time.
We all did. Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and greens, and I mean, honestly, it was heaven. I had so much. And my grandpa likes cooking, but he likes not only having like pumpkin pie and like sweet potato pie, like those things, but he also likes making cake. So we had like either pie as an option or like coconut cake. It was, I mean, I can't complain, It's great.
Do you have any alcoholic beverages with it?
I actually didn't because I was driving.
Oh, you saint. Not condoning that. I had a bunch of, what did I have? I had a bunch of red wine and beer. It was good times. It's delicious.
Yeah. I also watched the Washington football team beat the Cowboys.
That was nuts. That game
no coincidence to me wearing this, but
Capitals.
Yeah, I mean, I am a Washington fan. I'm not going to lie, But anyways, for those who are listening, hopefully you guys didn't click out and get bored because we haven't talked about movies or pop culture, TV stuff yet. But in this episode, we're going to talk about The Mandalorian, of course, because how can you not after that latest episode with Ahsoka and just so much, not even world building, just hinting to things. And, the child has a name now. No Baby Yoda is now Grogu. Grogu, right? It's like Grogu.
Grogu. I'm not sure how I feel about the name. There'll probably be some backstory where we'll be like, let me rescind that statement on Grogu or Grogu. But
I mean, I'm just surprised we got a Master Yoda. We got a Yaddle. I'm surprised there's no Y's in the name, like a Yagu or something. But after we talk about The Mandalorian, we're going to get into Hawkeye. They're filming that now as of when we're recording this. And also it's been confirmed from the set photos that Haley Steinfeld, who was in Pitch Perfect, she was in Bumblebee, True Grit, for those who, watched her all the way from the beginning. I think she got an Oscar nomination for it too, but she's officially been revealed for Kate Bishop. Just in the set photos, they haven't done a press release yet. They're probably saving that for like a trailer or, make like a big, break the internet kind of reveal. After that, we're going to talk about these Black Panther 2 news that reportedly came out from a scooper. And then we're going to end it off with some more Mandalorian stuff, talk about the potential spin-off applications of this recent Mandalorian season and specifically the last episode, but getting into the first discussions, but actually talking about another Marvel thing. And I'll preface this by saying, take it with a grain of salt, but reportedly Marvel for Black Panther 2 is not going to recast the character. This comes from Mikey Sutton, so definitely take it with a grain of salt because he's very up and down in terms of the reliability of his scoops. But he said that they are going to just basically do a slightly different storyline than originally planned. And part of the storyline is going to be not just Shuri trying to take on the mantle of Black Panther, but another individual as well. That's not the villain. So basically you're going to have like two storylines going on here. So the main villain, he says, which actually kind of matches up because they recently they casted an actor from Narcos. Let me get his name really quick. From Narcos, Mexico, Tanoch Huerta. I think I said his name right. I hope I did. If I mispronounced it, I'm very sorry. But he was casted in an unknown role as the villain. for Black Panther 2. And a lot of people are immediately assuming that he's playing White Tiger, who in the comics is Puerto Rican. So assuming they're going that route, the rumor is that he'll be the main villain, and they're probably going to change something in the movie where T'Challa is killed by this guy, which will obviously further make him a bad guy, even though in the comics he's not a bad guy. So I'm kind of on the fence about if this is actually even reliable or not. But Mikey Sutton also says that more likely than not, the other person going against Shuri for the role will be M'Baku, who also challenged T'Challa for the role in the first movie. So I don't really know. To be honest, Mikey Sutton, like I said before, he's very up and down, but I've been seeing a few people talk about it, so I thought it was worth talking about as well. Now, the interesting thing about White Tiger, since we talked about him a little bit, mentioned him, is that one of the versions of the character in the comics did make a deal with Eric Killmonger to acquire a synthetic version of the heart-shaped herb to give him powers similar to the Black Panther. So you can kind of, in a way, if you want, I guess, connect the White Tiger to Killmonger. And it would also explain why you have another villain with the same abilities of the Black Panther. And in general, the White Tiger kind of, I mean, the general, enhanced superhuman abilities, all that stuff. So, I mean, what do you think about this kind of direction, if it's true, this direction of how they're going to do Black Panther 2 without Chadwick?
I really like that initial person. I like the concepts, like having two people take on two good guys going on one segment of it, and then you still have that rival on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good new approach that we haven't seen as much, at least for any of the Marvel stuff I've seen. I don't think there's any previous movies like that at all. You think of anything Marvel? Have two good guys on the same side who are vying for the same title.
I would say maybe the Falcon and Winter Soldier, just because I feel like, part of that's going to be Falcon potentially, becoming Captain America. And then you have the other guy that the US government already wants to be Captain America. That's not, Falcon. And then I know a lot of people probably want Bucky to be Captain America because he was at one time in the comics. So that's the only other thing I can see that's potentially would be similar, or maybe like the new Thor movie, since you're going to have Chris Hemsworth as Thor, but also Natalie Portman playing the Jane Foster Thor. So maybe this will be a theme. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like you'll have I
had another thought, something similar to it, not the same title, but it's more like, what was it? War Machine, Iron Man. You kind of view those as almost the same kind of title, the way they're kind of acts almost like a copy of the U.S. government on one side, then you have the private side. So I guess you can make that kind of argument, but
yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, just because the Marvel movies version of the Black Panther is very different than the comic book version of Black Panther, and the character of Shuri is very different too. Because the movie made a very distinct point to be you don't have to be the king or queen and also Black Panther. You can be separate entities if I guess the king decrees it, which is why T'Challa was already Black Panther when his father, I guess, presumably retired from that role, and he just became just the king. So they could always do that technically, where Shuri's the queen. Well, yeah, I guess she would become the queen, and then you still have not T'Challa, I guess, anymore, but someone else be the actual warrior of Black Panther.
Take the mantle.
Yeah, and I only say that not because I don't think Shuri is capable or anything, but just because they made such a point already to show that she's not a warrior. She's a scientist engineer. You know what I mean? So in an RPG, I guess, she's not the tank character, warrior character. She's the engineer, the scout, the scientist kind of supporter role guy or girl. So they would have to explain that. They could always make something up out of the blue, everyone in Wakanda, especially the royal family, is, all trained to be Black Panthers or something. And they can always make something up if they wanted to, I'm sure. What I really hope they do, if they make her a Black Panther, is include some of that cool tech stuff she was doing into it. Because you know how she had like those gauntlets that like shot out like those vibranium pulse wave things. Like that'd be kind of cool. Like I'm just saying, like, you know, if you're gonna make her Black Panther, give her some cool stuff.
Some new tech, yeah. I mean, that would make sense too. I think she'll even whoever is the new whoever takes that mantle as warrior is gonna have new tech and either way with her there.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that they're gonna have to do this under these circumstances, just because they already had the movie written, basically when he passed away. So that's why I'm a little hesitant about this, just because even though I think recasting would be really hard, for the sake of the story, it may be best. And I mean, that's why, again, I don't think they should do it personally. I'm just saying, like, in terms of having such a quick turnaround, you would think the only way they could do that is by having more or less the same story. Because writing a script takes such a very long time, especially with all the, you know, all connected aspects you have to fit in there. I mean, you can't just change a story and, you know, you don't change an entire script in a Marvel movie in a week. But, you know, I saw people were recommending, what's his name? I should know, Denzel Washington, his son, that was recently in Tenet. And they're saying it'd be a really cool moment outside of the camera, just because when Chadwick Boseman didn't have enough money for like an acting program, Denzel Washington's scholarship program, basically him, he ended up actually being the one that gave up the money that allowed Chadwick to do that program. And without that program, Chadwick wouldn't be the individual he was today in terms of, you know, the acting roles and success he has. So it'd be kind of a cool, like, everything comes together kind of moment, I guess. But at the same time, me personally, I think, you know, this would also be a great time to just cast an actual African actor in the role as well, because it's a little egotistical that every single superhero and stuff is like American, basically. Like everything happens in America, so to speak. But I don't think they're going to do it though. I think they're just going to do a new character or Shuri.
How would you feel if they went the CGI route?
I think that pissed people off more, to be honest, than just recasting them. Yeah, I think that really pissed a lot of people off.
That'd be a mixed bag. I think people would be very, very mad if that were to happen. Yeah.
The only thing that's going to be really sad now is just, you know, I feel like now we really can expect the first scene in the movie will be, you know, him probably with like reusing some old audio from previous movie or something like that to make the dialogue for it, with like a stunt double in the full costume, so you can't see his face, of course, with the mask, but him going off into a mission or something and getting killed.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really sad that that's probably going to be in the first part of the movie. But I guess to kind of round this off, Shuri recast or new actor or new character entirely being Black Panther, which way do you think they're going to go?
I feel like they might go like a recast. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What's the most likely outcome?
I think they're going to go with Shuri. I feel like that makes sense, but at the same time, just due to, actually, I don't know. I think they're going to go Shuri. I just think, you know, she was the Black Panther in the comics, even though it was for like only a short period of time. You know, I think they're still going to use that as definitely valid, you know,
continuity.
Yeah, like reasoning behind, like, you know, reflecting the comics, but even in general, I mean, I just think, I think that's the most comfortable way to go. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think in terms of what's best for the story, it'd be recasting the character. But what's best for, you know, outside the story, what makes people more comfortable, I think it would be just going with Shuri and seeing how that goes, to be honest. But again, take that scoop, so to speak, with a grain of salt, just because of who it's coming from. And man. So getting on to our last topic. Right. Well, I guess on that note, thanks for checking out this episode of the podcast. They'll be cranking out more regularly, so definitely check them out. Also, check out the links for the audio-only versions which would be if you're checking out the video version on YouTube, the audio only link for, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, they'll be in the description. Let us know what the way is in terms of the types of topics we should take on going forward. And also let us know in terms of, depending on what segment you're listening to for The Mandalorian, what spinoffs do you think this season is actually building towards? Not just the possibilities, but like actually what we'll probably get for Hawkeye. Let us know what your thoughts are on Haley Steinfeld officially, finally being revealed, whether it's unofficial or not, as Kate Bishop, and those implications going forward for Young Avengers and all that stuff. And for that Black Panther 2 scoop with massive grains of salt, what do you think about that? I know Mikey Sutton's track record isn't picture perfect, so definitely feel free to be extremely reluctant on it. But what way do you think they should go about for Black Panther 2? And with all that said and done, Connor, I'll let you have a final say.
Comment below. Looking forward to everyone's thoughts. Thumbs up.